Hi everyone, DeeDee Catron here today as a Prima educator to inspire you with an altered item that I created from the March special delivery box. You can see here it has lots of layers, lots of depth, there's a ton of texture, and we're actually going to alter a piece of packaging directly from the March kit, and inside of our altered item is a little opening or a little crevice where we can tuck some things, kind of like a little treasure box. Right here, I'm just going through the contents of the March delivery box. You can see lots of beautiful pattern paper, flowers, embellishments. There's a 6x6 pad inside that special delivery box. And now you can see the actual piece of packaging that we're going to alter. It has these Project Life size chalkboard cards in it, and they've got really great images and words on them. But we're going to take some heavy gesso, and we're taking just the packaging, okay? We're going to take some heavy gesso by Fina Bear and Prima Marketing from the Art Basics line, and just a regular paintbrush. And we're going to cover the entire package in gesso. So we're whiting out everything that's there, all of the graphics and things like that, and we're just going to use the structure. Not only does the gesso do that, but it's also a great ground or base to work on for any kind of paints or mists or sprays that we would like to do on top. And I'm just going to put down a few layers, a layer of gesso, give it a quick heat, a layer of gesso, give it a quick heat. Even though this is really heavy gesso, the graphics are really prominent on this packaging. So it's going to take a little work to get through it, to get everything covered up. And I should have done this from the beginning, and I was, I don't know, in a hurry, I suppose. But you'll see me here in just a moment. I'm still doing layers and layers and layers. And then it occurs to me that I should probably undo the entire box and make sure to get all the sides. And then this way, not only do I get all the sides, but I can get all the little flaps and all the little pieces that tuck back in, and it really looks cohesive as an entire altered piece. I know, layers and layers of gesso, right? So that's all right. It only helps you in seeing that exactly how many layers of gesso I did put. And that's because if you glob it on, it'll take way too long to dry. But if you do nice thin coats, oh, here I go. See there, opening the packaging so I can get that side over there too. Because I really want the whole thing to be cohesive all the way around. If you open the flap of the packaging and then all of a sudden there's mint green, it's a little bit awkward, I suppose I could say. On to my last layer here, and I'm going to let that dry and, of course, help it along a little bit on my own. And in this layer, on the very right-hand side where it's the package flap is what it ends up being. Okay, you can see now. Sorry about that kind of jump right there, but I made it really, really thick there. And you can see as I hold my heat gun to the places where the gesso is very thick, it started to bubble up and create this really great texture. It's very cool. Then I get out a couple of colors of bloom sprays, and if you don't pull the handle all the way on these, it creates like a little splatter when you let go. It's very cool. It's kind of like a little half pump. You pull the trigger in halfway and then let go quick, and it splatters out. So I've been doing that a lot. And this is I'll look up the color specifically. Now I'm going on to one of the stone colors, and instead of doing the pump, I actually just use the wand directly from the bottle. I unscrew that and splatter that around. And once this dries, it's a little bit lighter than it looks there, so it's this nice dark gray color. And here I'm going to build my package back up, put everything all together. And the hanger for the packaging, I left it because now I can just hang it on the wall when I'm done, and I don't have to worry about setting it somewhere. I did glue the packaging back exactly where that seam is so that it's done. Now that's dry. And I'm going to tuck back in the flaps. And here is my altered item so far. And now it's custom colored. Then I'm just going to go through real quick the embellishments that came in there and just refresh my memory, and I do a lot of playing around and switching things up and moving them around to figure specifically what I'd like to do. And I don't know how to explain it. That's just how I do it, I suppose. I also got out these cards, and they're beautiful and had a lot of color to them, and I thought about placing one of those on the front, and I ended up changing my mind for that also. And that's okay. Like, it's fine to move things around and try things out, and as long as nothing's glued down, then you're going to be fine. At this point in time, I know that those cards are not exactly what I was looking for. I need a little bit more color on top, some more patterns. And I did find this sheet, that sheet that had the cards on it, and I did think I was going to use that as well. But in the end, I ended up making my own. And you'll see me here real quick. There, I just picked 2 of the beautiful pattern papers. I mean, these papers in this box are gorgeous. I cut one down to 3x4 to go right on top. And then I take the next pattern paper, these gorgeous flowers, and first I cut them to 3x4, and then I take 3/8 of an inch off so that there's a border all the way around. And now I've got a great place on the front where I can start building some embellishments and playing around. The next step is to do some stamping, and I use the gorgeous little, they're like little leaves from a seal. And, oh yeah, of course, I need to tape down, and I do some more permanent adhering later, but I just use some double-sided tape for now to tape down the square so I know exactly where I want to stamp. And I'm going to stamp in archival ink just over and over for a repeating pattern with these beautiful little leaves. And I think they have an actual name, but I don't know what it is. I apologize for that. And now I'm cycling through the sticky tabs. These are so cool. They have a sticky edge to them, and then they're kind of like vellum on the edge. There's you can see through it, so whatever you put down, you can see what's underneath it. But then they also have patterns. There's pink ones and black ones. And I ended up going with these green ones because the green was a really nice pop next to the colors that I already had going on, which are some kind of teals or mints a little bit, and then the lots of black and white and that pink. So the green was a really great contrast. And I really love how the stamp shows up underneath those. Now I'm pulling out some flowers. This, of course, it's Prima, and this is what we all really love about Prima. Not only do they have beautiful flowers or beautiful paper and embellishments, but everything is so chock full of gorgeous flowers. I did pull out one of those cards real quick, and I just trimmed the doily out of the middle, and it does have some words on it, but I'm really big into layering and altering embellishments as they come. So even though I see the words there in the middle and they don't really go with my theme for this little altered treasure box, I know that I'm going to cover them up. So I will just want the doily there. There, they're already covered. I pull out that pink flower, and then there's a green one that is paper on the bottom. Then it's layered with a vintage lace that matches that color, and then a little bud in the middle. So I've got the pink flower underneath, and then I'm taking the lace part from the green flower. I take off the bud, and I cycle through the, I cycle through the flare that was in the package, and now I'm adhering everything down with gel medium, and it's the gel medium from Finn's art line for Prima. It's in a smaller jar there because I can't have a ton of jars sitting on my desk, and sometimes I just need to reach really quickly, so I just transferred some to a smaller jar. But I used just a paddle, and everything's adhered with gel medium, and the reason I do that is so that once it's dry, I know it's permanent. Double-sided tape might come up, and some glues might crack. And here you can see I'm really adhering down the paper as well with the gel medium. Okay? It's pretty important if you're working on heavy embellishments and things like that. You don't want stuff to pop off, and gel medium is really going to soak into those more porous items and then really bond them together. And I'm just holding, it does take a while to dry though, so you can see here I'm holding everything in place. And kind of the nice thing actually about these clamps, if you use all the same clamps, you can see I have to readjust because as I put the clamps on, I could tell that the square wasn't centered. Now that's dry. And I'm going to layer I'm stapling a little bit just for some added texture in there. Just some little mini staples. And I did play a little bit with placement of the flower, but I did end up going with it right in the middle. And I've got some gray thread. I've just pulled off a bunch of it and bundled it up into a little knot. And I'm adhering that down with gel medium as well. And there's my center flower piece. All right, and then here as a final step, I did get out my Dymo label maker, but I'm out of label tape. So yeah, that didn't work as awesome as I had wanted, and I probably will finish it later. I am tucking one of those cards back in that actually came in this packaging as a back. There's that. And now I have this great little box that I can plug little things into, and you'll see I put a tag in there, and I end up putting a picture of me and my kiddo. And just a couple other mementos, whatever, a Starbucks cap, or, oh, there's the Dymo label maker. It runs out of tape just as I get done. But I'm going to put the words treasured on there so that I have this little box that's full of just my treasures. All right. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.